what I'd like to show you now is how to set up ClientExec to handle the automated account creation. I'm going to try not to go very fast, but there are quite a few steps. So you can take notes now. Also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to record this, well, I am recording this, so that I can take and I can cut out that portion and I can put it on our YouTube channel, and it'll just probably go up on tomorrow. And the YouTube channel is just youtube.com/bluehost. Go back to the reseller tab. I've installed ClientExec already, so I'll first need to disown this license. We do give you free licenses of ClientExec and WHM. Excuse me, WHM CS. So I've installed ClientExec in the past, so I'll just disown the license. It's going to disown the license. It'll remove that license, and it'll also uninstall the files. Choose billing. We offer both ClientExec and WHMCS. We've had better success, and we prefer using ClientExec over WHMCS. One of those reasons is that ClientExec does support the automated account creation, as well as when we first started using WHMCS, there were some security issues that were brought up with WHMCS. So we prefer to use ClientExec, that's what we recommend, and that's what we're going to use today. So I can choose the installation path. I'm going to leave this as members for now, just because this was going to default to. I'm going to enter a password for ClientExec. And then I'll choose to submit this. Okay, so ClientExec is installed. Let's go to login. So hitting the login button takes me to my domain, bluehostertraining.com/members, where I installed it to. This order button is where the customer would go through later to make this purchase. And let's log into the back end and let's set up the servers and the settings and the plugins so that it works properly. So we're going to choose the login. I've logged in here before, so it's remembering what my login information is. Make sure the email address is correct. The password, excuse me. Not saving. Let's try that again. So once I've logged in, I can see that it tells me the version I have installed. I can close this. So to start the setup, we're going to go to Setup, and we'll go to Servers. We're going to add our server first. So we'll choose this server. The server name can really be whatever you would like it to be. So I'm going to do Bluehost Training. The host name is going to be the actual box or server that you're on. To find that, you can come back over here into your control panel. You might need to expand these stats. If you scroll down, you'll find the host name is listed right here. The shared IP address also can be found over here. Scroll down. Here's the IP address. For plugin, I'll choose cPanel as that's what we're using. Let's go to name servers. I need to find the name servers. If you don't know what your name servers are, they are in your welcome email. But if you do need to find them, what you can do is you can open up the terminal or the command prompt, depending on which operating system you're using. We'll slide it out there. There we go. And we're going to do what's called a dig. So we're going to do dig, and then my domain name. This is going to return both the name servers and the IP address. So we'll add a name server. And we'll grab the second name server. addresses. Okay. We'll then go to plugin configuration. Now we get the username and the access hash. To find this, we need to go back to the control panel, but we need to go into WHM. So we're going to come back over to our control panel, scroll to the top in our reseller section, and click WHM. Again, I know I'm going kind of fast. If you have any questions, feel free to ask those. And also understand that tomorrow this will go up on our YouTube channel. And that again is just youtube.com/bluehost. So under cluster remote access, we're going to choose setup remote access hash. Here's the username that was needed by ClientExec. Here's the access hash. You can also generate a new key. I'd like to point out that if you hit this generate new key button, you will need to update ClientExec because it won't match. It's going to store your old key. The failure email address is anytime there's ever any sort of a problem, this is where it's going to send the email to. It's going to send the error message to this address. So in this case, we'll use just bluehosttutorials.com. We'll update that. Go to Setup. Let's go to Settings. There are some settings here, such as your company URL, your company name. Which isn't really vital for the automated account creation to set up, but since I'm here, I'll just update it. And then you just scroll to the bottom, you choose Update Settings. One thing you want to do is you'll want to make sure that your email information is up to date both in support and billing. Again, it's not going to really matter for the support side for the email to be created for when you're setting up the cPanel setup, or excuse me, the account creation setup, but we might as well since we're in here. Just update settings. Billing, we'll update it here as well. And these do need to be valid email addresses on your hosting account. Go to sign up. One of the problems that WHMCS has that we've been able to fix in ClientExec is that our servers or our system requires that each username be different. That includes your customers' usernames. So you're not able to choose what the username for your customer will be. It's going to be automatically created by our system. So what you'll need to do is scroll to the bottom and choose not to prompt for the domain username and password. And then update the settings. Now let's go to plugins. And we need to enable the well, I don't see it now. Order processor. Sorry, the location's moved. You need to enable the order processor. And you'll choose yes to enable it. And then update settings. You'll then need to choose a payment processor. I'm going to just use a check since this is just an offline thing that I'm using right now. You'll see that a few of these are going to be set as offline, such as the money order, the credit card and bank account are both offline, so I'll choose check. Yes, it's available in the sign up, and then I can customize the sign up name if I would like, and update the settings. So this is everything that needs to be done in the backend before I can then go through and do the sign up. Everything that is except for actually creating the product that we're going to be selling. So for this one last step, let's go to Setup, go to Product/Add-ons. Now just for the sake of time, I'm going to edit an existing product rather than creating a new product. but the steps are for the most part exactly the same. So I can choose the product group, which hasn't quite loaded yet. Let's refresh the page. Here we go. Just for the sake, I'll choose standard. The product name, I can name it whatever I would like. Choose front page. I can put in a description here. It doesn't matter what I put. This is just going to show up underneath the product name. Pricing and stock controls, where I can specify what the price will be. Under advanced, I'm going to associate it with a server. Associate with the Bluehost training server. And now I need to find the package name on the server. The easiest way is to come back into WHM. We'll edit a package. And then I just like to click on it so I can copy the product name. And then choose update. So now we've set up the order processor. We've set up so that yes, it will process orders. It will process orders because we're doing an offline transaction with a check. It's not actually going to order. It's not going to order this transaction because I have to manually enable it, confirming that I have received payment. But we've enabled the order processor. We've also set up the server, and we've set up the payment gateway. Now that we've set up the product, we're ready to actually go and purchase the product. So let's just go to mydomain/members, where I installed the two. We'll choose order. Also, back in the settings of ClientExec, you are able to set if somebody's able to link to a product, so that you could create your own setup page, your own kind of welcome to your company page, and then the checkout or the sign up or the buy now button takes them to this particular product. So here, let's order shared web hosting. Choose a product, we choose front page. Just continue. Domain name, Bluehost-resold. Actually, we'll choose example.com, example/transfer.com. We'll continue. And now I just need to fill out the information the customer will be using. So we'll say Jacob. Email address. Phone number. And then they need to fill out the CAPTCHA. You should be able to dig around in ClientExec and be able to disable this, but it definitely helps cut back on the amount of spam signups that you have, especially if you're doing like I am, where you allow for checks. Complete the order. So the order is complete. Congratulations, it's now gone through. Let's go back into ClientExec. Look at our pending orders. And here's this pending order, so they would just need to activate the account. Or you would activate the account as this is a pending order because it was paid with a check. So it'll take a few minutes for that to be created. And then once it's done, you'll see it'll show up under your list accounts.